Hello and welcome. My name is Lauren Green, and I am the Director of Business Development with Viking. And today I'm going to talk to you about all things Viking ocean cruising. To begin, I wanted to give you a little background on who Viking is. We started about 26 years ago on the rivers of Russia with just four little baby river ships. And since then, we have grown exponentially. We now travel to all seven continents, starting in Antarctica last year with our expedition ships. We traveled over 85 countries, five oceans, even the five Great Lakes we travel to. The amazing thing about Viking is that no matter where you sail with us, whether that is Europe, Asia, Egypt, anywhere that you travel with Viking, our philosophy does not waver. We do not try to be everything to everyone. We really focus on mature people who have curious minds or interested in history, culture, geography. The destination is the reason you are traveling, because that is the reason that we do what we do day in and day out. And of course, our staff, they truly are something special. They're what I call our secret sauce. When you step on board our ships, they immediately welcome you as if you've been family forever. And we have the highest retention in the industry, which means that our guests stay with us contract after contract, their entire careers. We treat them like family, and in return, they treat you like family. And that's really important to us. There are a lot of things that separate us here at Viking, what we call the Viking difference, but there are a few that we say who we are by what we are not. So we do not have any casinos, no children under the age of 18, and we do not have any formal knights, butlers, or white gloves on Viking. Specifically on our ocean ships, we have a beautiful self-service laundrette that is free of use. We do not charge for it. We have up to 8 different dining options that are all included. There are no additional charges for our specialty restaurants. Free Wi-Fi. We have a beautiful spa on board our ocean ship that we have no entrance fee for, so you can come and go as much as you would please. We just charge for, facials, massages, services like that. And what's really nice is we are highly inclusive. So we offer beer, wine, and soft drinks with lunch and dinner. And you just have a way better experience traveling on board an ocean ship where when you step on board, you don't feel like you have to pull out your wallet every time you want to do something, get a bottle of water, check your email, maybe. We have free Wi-Fi. We have bottles of water included. It's just a really nice, all-encompassing, highly inclusive experience. If you are a thinking person, then you came to the right place. Here at Viking, we travel to really explore, learn, and understand the destination that we're going to. So before you even go, we will send you recommended philographies and readings, all based on your travels. And we always like to have activities on board and ashore that will share in the region's culture. Our cultural entertainment on board specifically gives us a really great insight into these towns, cities, their history, their culture, their geography. So we will have cultural curriculums where we will have inspiring lectures, tasting of wines, local cuisine, port talks, destination performances, and of course, our onboard cooking school. We also will go beyond the iconic. We have really carefully curated our shore excursions, which I'll talk about in a minute, and made sure that our guests see the expected, the iconic, as well as some of the things that maybe were never on your bucket list to start with, but you're so happy that you traveled there. Our resident historians deliver high-level historic and cultural education that are specific to your journey, offering invaluable insight into that rich history of the destinations. We complement our onshore experiences with our onboard lecture program that's really designed to shed light on the destination's art, architecture, music, natural world, and so much more. So these are hosted by a wide range of experts, from authors and archaeologists to former diplomats and news correspondents that are really eager to share their knowledge with you. Edvard Munch is a famous Norwegian painter of the late 19th century, early 20th century, and you may recognize him by this piece here, the screen. And we have what's called Munch Moments, and this is where we bring the magic of this master artiste on board with our daily interactive event that showcases several pieces of his great art. And when we're not showing Munch in our grand atrium that you see here, you can relax and enjoy our resident musicians performing classical compositions. Our destination movies provide a vivid window to the world, especially when their settings shine through as a main character. We have our BBC programming and TED Talks hourly in our theater and in your room and your TV. And these are really focused on history, geography, science, longevity, and so much more when you are traveling. I mentioned our shore excursions, and I wanted to circle back to that. We know that our guests have different interests and passions into these places that you're traveling to. And so we wanted to categorize our shore excursions into three separate ways so you can really focus your travels. We have local life, working world, and privilege access. Local life is, well, exactly what it sounds like. You are going to live life like a local for the day. So maybe in Helsinki, you will go on a food tasting tour to try the authentic Finnish foods. Maybe you'll go to a Stavanger home visit. When you are traveling to New Zealand, you might be able to go to a sheep working farm. Different experiences that will really make you feel like you are a local. The working world is a hands-on experience that you get to really get a glimpse into how the inner workings of these towns and cities run. If you were to live there, what would you do for a living? So you might get to be creative in a workshop led by an international glass jewelry designer in Murano. Maybe you'll witness the craftsmanship behind the Carnival of Venice. I mean, the list goes on. You can do truffle hunting in France, the Mercedes-Benz factory. You can do a winery, a cheese making farm. So many amazing experiences. And then my absolute favorite is our privilege access tours. Now, these are special to Viking that you can't get anywhere else in the world unless you travel with Viking. We have friends and family all over. They open up their homes, their art collections, their museums, their castles to our guests and really allow them to have a special experience. So you might join a panoramic tour of Berlin, but you'll have lunch atop and have a private organ concert in the Berlin Cathedral. You might get to have privileged access to the Louvre. Maybe you'll have a private tour through Highclere Castle. We have these everywhere all over the world. So when you're looking at your shore excursions, you'll notice that they will have a red banner at the top when it says privilege access, and you'll know it's a really special experience. Now, our 10 mighty ocean ships sail all over the world. We do anything from 8-day itineraries to our amazing world cruise. And I wanted to just highlight a few areas that I feel we do best. And of course, if I don't touch on an itinerary that you were really interested in, be sure to talk to your AAA travel advisor because they are armed with all this information and can help you with any more details that you might need. Starting out in Scandinavia and Northern Europe. We originated in Norway. Our owner is Norwegian, so we do this area very well. And we have a lot of different Iceland itineraries. The ones shown here are 15-day, leaves from New York City, and then does a circumnavigation of Iceland. In the summertime, we also have an 8-day round-trip Reykjavik cruise that will take you just around the country of Iceland that runs in June, July, and August. Norway. So we have a few options for Norway. The two most popular are Into the Midnight Sun. So this is where you'll travel in the summertime and you get almost 24 hours of daylight. And then we have In Search of the Northern Lights, which is the opposite of that. So this runs in the winter. And this is where you go out and chase the aurora borealis. It is such an incredible experience. And you'll definitely want to make sure you sign up for the wake-up call if the aurora comes out in the middle of the night. 2 a.m. The crew will call your stateroom and tell you to wake up and head to the starboard side or whatever it is so that you can see the aurora because they do come pretty quickly. My one insider tip for you on that is to make sure you really think about what pajamas you pack because when they're calling you at 2 a.m., you don't have much time to change. So you'll have to hop up and run outside and be with other members on the cruise ship. But it really is an amazing experience. It's a once-in-a-lifetime trip. And then one of my absolute favorites that sells out really far in advance, so you do have to book early, is the British Isles Explorer. This is our Bergen to London, which is sprinkled in with everything you'd want to see in the British Isles. You go from Scotland to Shetland Islands and the Orkney Islands to Edinburgh. We even touch on Belfast and Dublin, Wales, through the English Channel. And then we arrive into London to end the cruise. It's a phenomenal experience to hit all of the highlights of the British Isles that you would want to go to. We also have a lot of voyages with the Mediterranean. So really depending on what you want to see depends on what we have. So we've got the Mediterranean Odyssey for 15 days, which is one of my favorites. It is Barcelona around the boot, even in Corfu, Greece, which is an adorable old cobblestone street town that also has a beautiful beach to travel to about 20 minutes from the port. And then this goes up even into Croatia and ends in Venice. We have 10-day options that includes the highlights like Santorini, Athens, Greece. You go to Zadar and Dubrovnik in Croatia. We have the other side where we do Barcelona around Portugal and up into London. And then we have combo cruises as well that can go from 22 days to 37 days and can take everything all at once. We also travel the Mediterranean through the winter time. So we go what we call the quiet season Med, and we travel there even through December, January, February. So we have a lot of options. Be sure to talk to your AAA travel advisor about that. Other side of the world, we've got Australia, New Zealand, and Asia. Our probably most popular is the first one, the 15-day Australia, New Zealand, where a lot of guests will actually go in early and spend a few days in Sydney beforehand. We'll travel through, even go into Tasmania, and then spend the bulk of our 2-week cruise in New Zealand. We also have this beautiful brand new circumnavigation of Australia, that 32-day voyage. It also includes a few stops in Indonesia, and we travel all around the country of Australia. I mean, what a way to spend a month, right? It is fantastic. And then a very popular itinerary that doesn't have a ton of dates, so again, you do want to book early, is our Bangkok, Bali, and beyond. This takes you from Thailand all the way through Malaysia and Singapore and down into Indonesia. It is a fantastic experience with all of the highlights of Asia that you would want to see. Speaking of Asia, we are officially headed back to China with our beautiful Ocean Sun. Our ship called the Sun will be traveling through China, and we have a few different options. This is our cruise only, Shanghai to Hong Kong, 10 days, 6 guided tours. You will start with flying into Shanghai, spending a couple nights with us, and then we will start our cruise voyage and end in Hong Kong. You're going all the way to China. So if you want to see some of the land portion, we do have those options. We've got Beijing to Hong Kong, 15 days, which will include beginning on land with us in a hotel in Beijing. We will go into Xi'an, which is where you can see the terracotta warriors, one of the most amazing archaeological finds of our time. And then our chartered flight will take us into Shanghai, which we will board our ship and then do our 10-day voyage. And if you want to do it all, the wonders of China, this is our round trip Beijing itinerary. We will start in Beijing for the first 3 days. We will charter our flight down into Shanghai. We will do our 10-day cruise to Hong Kong. And then from Hong Kong, we will fly to Chengdu, Lhasa, Xi'an, and then end in Beijing. This is truly the best way to see this country, and it is a fantastic experience where we have a lot of different tours that will really encompass all the culture and the history, the arts, the food, everything that China has to offer, especially the locals. We have such a great relationship there, and we have so many amazing home-hosted visits and local experiences that you will get to have. And lastly, I wanted to talk about our amazing world cruise. So our 2025 world cruise is officially out. And what's amazing about this one, it is Fort Lauderdale all the way to London. We will be traveling through all the highlights that you would want to see in 138 days, 28 countries, and 57 guided tours. It is fantastic. So it is the great time to do a world cruise. You get to see 28 countries and then really figure out where you want to go back and maybe spend some extra time. So when you're sailing on all of these voyages, you probably want to, visualize what you're going to be on. And our amazing ocean ships are truly one of a kind. They are special. They are 930 passengers, so still that small ship cruising. They are all veranda, so no matter what category you're in, you have a private veranda to yourself. And I like to describe them, the best way is described to me, which is that there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. They were designed perfectly. We, of course, have a spa, which we talked about. We have a fitness center. We have a theater. We have 2 pools, a beautiful infinity pool in the back, as well as our pool in the center that has a retractable roof, so you can still enjoy cruising, even maybe in cold weather. And we have, of course, many dining options that are all included. I love food, so I feel like I should talk about food since you're cruising. We've got 8 dining options for you. And along with our generics of the restaurant that's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we also have our pool grill. We have an amazing Norwegian deli that's open. They have the best waffles. Please try the waffles at Mamsen's Norwegian Deli. Our 2 specialty restaurants are Manfredi's and the Chef's Table. Manfredi's is an Italian steakhouse that is fantastic. I've had everything on the menu, gnocchi, steak, spinach, everything in between, and every dish is better than the next. The Chef's Table is a ever-changing menu every 3 days. It's a far more eclectic for the adventurous eater, a lot of local flares and unique dishes. And then the best part about cruising on Viking is our 24-hour in-room dining that is complimentary. There is no charge for it. So when you are in the beautiful Mediterranean, sitting out on your veranda overlooking Santorini, you can enjoy a glass of wine and your spaghetti bolognese and just feel like there's nothing better in life than that. Speaking of verandas, of course, we have multiple stateroom options, about 6 categories when you're sailing on Viking. And depending on the category, depends on what's included. And your AAA advisor will go through all of this with you when you book your ocean voyage. But our amazing veranda staterooms are truly a retreat at sea. They are so comfortable, so open, light-filled spaces, more than enough storage than you could ever need. Our bathrooms have all heated tile floors, glass enclosed showers, anti-fog mirrors, your toiletries, a blow dryer, 110 to 220 plugs, so you never have to bring a converter when you sail on Viking. This is our standard veranda, our deluxe veranda, about 270 square feet. Of course, you have your private step-out veranda, some extra seating room. We have a beautiful desk where actually the middle of it opens up, so you have extra storage and a nice little makeup mirror there. And then your standard bathroom. And we go up, we have multiple categories. The next highest one would be one of my favorites, the penthouse veranda. This gives you a little bit extra couch and seating room, a little bit more of an expanded veranda. And then we have our amazing penthouse junior suite. And the penthouse junior suite is incredible for multiple reasons. One being, look at on the right-hand side, all of that desk space and storage space that you get. That is a separated room, living room area with a separate TV that you can close the curtains there. And you have an elongated veranda. But the best part about the penthouse junior suite, which is what I call a marriage saver or a friendship saver, is the double sinks in the bathroom. So you'd get 2 sinks in the bathroom, which is glorious. Plus your heated tile floors, your glass enclosed showers. I mean, everything you could ever want. And then our next highest level is our amazing Explore suites. These are on the front and the aft of our ship. And they have a dining area, a living room area, a far more expansive veranda with lounge chairs as well as regular chairs and a table. And then we have a separated bedroom with a huge walk-in closet with an extra makeup counter in the closet. And then the bathroom is an expansive bathroom with a true separate tub, 2 shower, dual sinks, heated towel racks, everything in between. So your AAA travel advisor can assist you in whatever you need in terms of booking your next ocean voyage. And I just wanted to remind you that being a AAA member, you receive some extra benefits when booking your Viking cruise. So any Viking cruises that are 8 to 11 days, you get an additional $100 per person shipboard credit. Any voyages that are 12 days or longer, you get an additional $200 per person shipboard credit. That can be used towards maybe facials in the massage area, in the spa. If you wanted to purchase our beverage package, we just have one Silver Spirits beverage package that you can purchase. It's unlimited. You get everything that you want. Shore excursions, if you wanted to do some optional shore excursions, you can do that as well. So hopefully this got you excited for your amazing ocean voyage. Please reach out to your AAA travel advisor for any questions you may have and assistance in booking your next Viking cruise. Thank you, and we'll see you on board soon.